right. Facebook Live.
Facebook Live.
I cannot wait. If somebody gets on here, you better comment.
Yeah, because it's early in the morning.
It's early.
What was it, 4:30?
It is 4:30.
Dirty 4:30.
It is dirty.
It's dirty. You know what? I was sitting in the parking lot waiting on you. It was 3.
Well, see, I knew that when I came up with the idea to get here at 4, you would have to somehow one up me and make it where he's like, yeah, it was his idea to come here at 4, but I was there at 3.
But I was there at 3.
For those of you that are not watching this live, which is 99.99% of you,
0.99999.
it is 4:30 a.m. on Saturday.
Yeah.
And when most of the world is tucked away under their sheets and
blankets partners.
We are
working,
making it happen. So if somebody does join on, which I'm going to see, I think I got somebody on here. Hey, if you're watching this, comment and let me know who you are, where you're from, because I'm impressed that you're up.
No kidding.
Someone's on there. It's awesome.
How can you tell?
There's a little
This is the first one.
Yeah, there's a little number right there. It says there's one person.
Oh, fantastic. And 0 here.
So thank you for joining us.
Wait,
So we were actually going to, we were just talking, we were going to actually try to find like some current events that we could riff off of. But I don't even really know where to go to find the news on the internet.
We both looked at each other and I was like, where do you get news at these days? Like, how does...
I avoid the news like the plague because it's just a bunch of negative nonsense.
When you made that comment the other day about the baseball game on the thing, I was like, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. But anyway.
I just think of that. I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
I just keep thinking of that Allen Iverson meme talking about practice. Remember when you had that? They used to like razz like reporters and all. They used to like just hound Allen Iverson because he like hated practice and like he would not show up, and he would be like in an after game interview, and he'd like score all these points, whatever. And they're like, so why didn't you show up to practice Wednesday or whatever? He'd be like, we talking about practice. He's like, we're talking about practice right now. That's great.
It's actually hilarious.
FoxNews.com.
Yeah, I'm sure that's probably got
breaking news updates.
Breaking.
Dun, 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 dun.
British Broadcasting
Dun, dun, dun,
Channel.
dun.
BBC would probably give us a little, or what is it called? Al Qaeda? No, that can't be it. Al Jazeera News Network.
Hold up there with the say certain words on Facebook Live, and all of a sudden we're getting monitored by some kind of watchdog.
That was a misspoken.
Big Brother just came in and they identified a unruly beard.
Yeah. I was going to say, with your beard and my shaved head, we for sure would get labeled something. Oh my God, for sure.
Let's see. Actually, we can look at business. How about that? Because I don't want to talk about freaking
retarded stuff.
Yeah.
Sad.
Somebody shot somebody somewhere.
Always.
Oh, you know what somebody told me? You know what I heard last night at dinner?
What? Yeah.
Someone told me that,
Is there 2?
What's up? Who's this? Laura Kennedy. Good morning. What are you doing up so early? What are you guys doing up so early? You got 4 people on live. Someone told me last night that that the biggest sex trafficking
Atlanta, baby.
No, but they're talking about in Greenville that there's a big, and you know it's where they're finding these girls and capturing them.
Where?
Whole Foods.
What?
Whole Foods on Woodford. He said that's where a lot of it's happening. Isn't that crazy?
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. I guess people are.
That blows my mind.
Yeah.
What people don't realize is, did you know I was sitting down with somebody with some charities and ministries we're involved with that helps people that have been in the sex trafficking world and helps. I mean, that's got to be how do you even come out of that? But you want to talk about somebody that could have a legit excuse.
Mm-hmm.
All of them could be, whatever. But there's 100,000 slaves in the United States.
Yeah.
Does that blow your mind?
It really does.
That makes me want to vomit.
So
and hurt someone.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I got 3 little girls.
I just found this article. So Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, he just I think he just like acquired like the majority of Whole Foods or like a big portion.
Speaking of Whole Foods,
I know, like how random is that?
That is random.
But it's so funny. I saw this meme last night, and it said Bezos. And it said Siri, remind me to buy. It said something like Siri, buy food from Whole Foods, and then it said Siri, buy Whole Foods. And he goes, and it said Bezos. Crap, no. I said like buy food at Whole Foods.
Get groceries at Whole Foods.
Siri's like, yes, I will buy Whole Foods.
I will buy Whole Foods.
You know what's also funny is I was listening to this Kevin Hart the other day. Kevin Hart stand-up in his latest one. He talks about his dad. He's just like old and senile. And he said he just yells at his iPhone like anytime he wants something. He's like, Cyrus! He's like, how do I find McDonald's, Cyrus?
That's freaking hilarious.
It said, jeez.
What?
So Jeff Bezos can now give away more of. Let's see.
So when we're doing,
He bought Whole Foods for $13.7 billion.
That's unreal, man.
His net worth now got a boost, hitting $84 billion.
That's unreal. I love it.
That's sick.
That's sick. So on these and the subject stuff, when we do these Facebook Lives, do we put each other's stuff in there so that it pulls from both?
I think you can like tag people in the comments. Is that why Amazon bought them? Yep.
I love that, Lord.
No, is that why about the sex trafficking? Probably not. Hopefully not.
Look, so look, is that what she? Oh my God, that's awful.
But yeah, in the comments you can tag somebody else in it.
Okay. Afterwards?
During, I mean, you can comment on there yourself, like type in something so you can tag somebody.
Fascinating. Lord, do you know Laura Kennedy?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
Where are you from? Laura?
Miss Laura? Where do you hail from?
We got 5 people on here. Who else is on here? 4:30.
Shoot us a message. Tell us where you're from.
Alright, so what else we got going on in the news?
Yeah, how do you riff off of somebody buying buying Whole Foods?
Let's see here.
Except what she just said, which was kind of comical in a awful kind of way. In our sick mind kind of way.
Let's see here. Have you looked much into this whole Bitcoin thing?
Dude, I see it everywhere.
It's weird to me.
It is weird to me.
It seems like an easy way to lose a bunch of money.
It sounds like an easy way to lose a bunch of money.
Or an easy way to get frustrated for no reason.
Yeah.
But it's gotten to the point where there was this gas station in Atlanta that I walked in. The one I walked in when I was talking to you that I was telling about that had like deja vu.
Yeah.
At the front, like, it's this nasty old bad part of town, this gas station. And the gas station had this like cardboard sign in the front that says, "We sell Bitcoin." Like,
What?
That's weird. Like, that doesn't make it seem as cool as all these Instagram influencers make it seem. It was like right next to like the loose single cigarettes. It's like, hey, you want to add Bitcoin?
And there's a room in the back you can rent per 15 minutes.
Yeah. I'm gonna supersize that with some Bitcoin.
Thank you. I'll get one cigarette. I'll get a Bitcoin.
Didn't they call that a Lucy?
And a.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
And can I get 3?
Actually, there's another word that's called, I think, in England, which is not a nice word in the U.S.
True.
Isn't that right?
That's right. 100%. Thanks for bringing that up.
We're not saying that on Facebook Live 4:42 in the morning.
Not happening.
Saturday.
On a Saturday.
So,
right. Welcome to our newsroom.
Yeah, so here's the
So you didn't find anything?
Nah, there's nothing good in the news. My wife gets on me all the time. She's like, you need to know what's going on in current events. I was like, no, I really don't.
I know.
And it's like your video the other day where we just talked about not much.
Yeah.
Like, how's it going to affect me not knowing anything in the news?
Not much.
Not much at all.
Not much.
I mean, literally, like, sometimes people will say stuff like big things that are happening. They're like, oh my gosh, have you heard about such and such? And I'm like, is.
I
I don't even.
Hang on, let me look that up. Siri, what
Yeah.
is this mean?
Cyrus!
Cyrus!
What is this ISIS? What is this? Is this that I keep hearing about?
What is,
But it's literally, I'm just like, that whole law of attraction thing, I took it way too seriously. Or maybe it's good, but I'm like, anything that's negative, no matter what, I'm like, there's no need for it to be in my brain. Like, there's enough negative that you see than actually to consciously and make a choice to put it in there.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I found out too? Actually, I did a video on this morning. We'll probably release it. I don't know if it might be next week or the week after. But when I got here an hour before you. Oh, thanks. Leave it up.
Yeah.
So, what was I getting ready to tell you?
I don't know.
You're distracting with all this movement.
Something about negative stuff, choosing.
Oh, I was talking about people, how they see their circumstances.
Yeah.
Right. So when you, can I talk about some of your history?
Yeah.
Painful part?
Sure.
No.
There's only 5 people.
It's only 5 people. So you've been through a divorce.
Yeah.
And when you were going through the divorce, was there any point in time with what had happened to you where you felt alone?
Oh yeah.
Like I may be the only person that this has happened to. Like I feel like
Sure.
I'm unique in these circumstances.
Sure. Yeah.
And everybody's that way. I was thinking about this morning. Like I've listed some of the things I've gone through with you
Yeah.
and or over
We're
the
just
years.
gonna talk about mine.
Well, we're just gonna talk about your shit. Yeah. So no, but I mean,
No, I'm just kidding.
no, seriously.
Yeah.
In 15 years of in my marriage where things weren't great, and I went, I thought I was unique. Like nobody's had this situation.
Yeah.
When I was, going through when I was molested as a kid, when I was in a cult for 8 years. I mean, I've got some really screwed up stuff, right?
Sounds like a country song.
It does, doesn't it? And I literally had a dog die in those days too, right? And my mom just didn't get hit by a train.
Worst country
Or
song.
truck. It would be awful. But I saw my circumstances as unique, like that.
Oh yeah.
And I saw myself through those shitty circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw myself here,
Yeah.
but nobody go. And what that does is that divide is the blame game. So what you have to see is you have to see yourself as unique and special, and your circumstances. That's just something you have to walk through,
Yeah.
right? So
That's good.
So you see what I'm saying? Like most people see that like you could have been like I got divorced, this happened, she did this or he did that. I don't even know if you're married to a guy or a girl. I'm kidding. But you could see you through the eyes of that crappy circumstances, which means you would see yourself as crappy.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So once you get rid
Define
of
yourself by your situation, not by who you are.
Yeah, so once you can look at yourself and go, I'm unique, I'm special, I love me, and you can look around and go, yeah, legit, these are bad circumstances. But this legit, awesome, unique person can walk through those and not get it on them, right? Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Doesn't mean that you didn't cry yourself to sleep or whatever, or you weren't so upset or depressed or whatever it was. But you had to see yourself as special and coming out of that.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's kind of like the line like you are not your situation.
Yeah.
And we talked about this a little bit on an upcoming podcast about how the struggle is part of the story, and that
the greater the struggle,
that quote from yesterday where it
the better
said,
the story.
Every successful person has a painful story. You have a choice whether your painful story has a successful ending. I mean, that's
awesome.
Because every successful person, that's one thing that's interesting that's been weighing pretty heavy on my mind lately is like every multi-millionaire.
Which is how we equate success. So don't get mad at us. We also equate success with being a good dad, being a good husband, being a.
But as far as like risk, like every multi-millionaire, uber successful person has been bankrupt. Like what is it like an average of 3 times or something like that? And when
I've
you
lost it 3 times.
Yeah, and so when you think about that, and when you think about risk and reward, and you think about are you willing to risk being bankrupt in order to have this certain level of success.
The bankers look at you different.
But when when you look at it though as a situation,
Can you lower your seat just a little more?
it's driving me crazy. I lower it, then I raise it back up.
I just want to sit up a little taller.
But when you look at, but there's another way to look at that situation. It's looking at it as just that's if you know that every successful person has gone through that, then it's almost like you're in a twisted way, like happy, like I'm happy that this bad thing's happening because I know it making me that much closer to where I'm ultimately supposed to be.
It's just part of the
because that road to success will never be. I just thought of some like weird quote that you would say on a meme, like it's like never paved with gold, or like it's never paved. It's never a smooth. Like there's not going to be a single person that goes from zero to multi-millions without the bumps in the road.
There is no smooth. It doesn't happen.
Man, there's this guy, and I hope he sees this because I want to give him a shout out that I've been following on Facebook for a while. His name's David Heel, I believe, Heil, Heil. He lives in Texas, and I've been watching this guy, him and this other guy I follow.
Who's the other guy, Joseph Caldwell? At the Joseph Caldwell.
I think he's followed me.
I got here first.
But the stuff that he posts on Facebook, let me pull something up because he is what he's putting out there is it's very smart in how he's doing it. But it's just like from his personal, it's not like a Facebook like fan page, just his personal page. But the stuff he's posting, it's like super like intriguing to where like it makes you want to like fly out and meet this guy and figure out what he's doing. They're doing some real estate stuff that's like unreal. The way they're building out all these like storage facilities and stuff.
Yep.
They're doing some interesting stuff. But he always posts these things like he just says, like here's the last couple of things. Cash means you're too poor to prove a tax return. And there's another post. You judge others' looks, I judge their drive. Both of us have different endings. And then he says, deeds before beers. He says, middle class prefers pre-calculated risks, aka depreciating assets. Spend minimal time tracking who is doing better, majority of the time researching why. Like everything he drops on here is just like,
it's great.
If you're not willing to master something, you will work for the ones that did. There was one that was really good though. I don't have money, I have working capital. Learn the difference to grow. That's big.
Damn, that is good.
Mm-hmm.
That is true about what we do.
2 types of people intrigue me, the elite and the ones that want to work to get there. Bad investors just ask for money. Good ones ask for people with money. If you take my post as a personal threat, it's because you're not ready yet. I mean, like and then when you see the stuff that they're doing in these deals that they're doing,
yeah,
it's like incredibly intriguing.
He feels like a warrior, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
He feels like he hits this like a Viking, you know, drink blood from skulls. I love that stuff.
This one you're like, getting ahead feels like being behind 24 hours a day.
You gotta send that to me.
Yeah.
Shoot that to me.
Yeah.
Getting ahead feels like being behind 24 hours a day. Good morning from Oregon. Damn, he's up early.
Oregon? He probably ain't got to sleep yet.
Eric.
It's only like 1:30 in the morning.
Are you getting home from a bar, man? What's up? Like
Eric Wellard. What's
yeah.
up, man?
What's happening there?
It's only 1:30 there.
Yeah. I'll be out there. I'm actually.
Oh yeah.
I'll be in
Washington, right?
Spokane tomorrow night. Yep. Spokane, Washington. I mean, I know that's not Oregon, but it's closer than here.
South Carolina.
It's closer than South Carolina, yeah.
Let's see.
That is cool. Oh man.
Anyways, but these guys, the reason I brought that up is because these guys, I mean, all they talk about is how much debt can I possibly acquire as fast as humanly possible. Mm-hmm. And they're just rolling one deal into the next deal into the next deal.
Sure.
And it's incredible what they've acquired over the course of like a year and a half, 2 years, as far as net worth on paper.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That they're buying these storage facilities, fixing them up, getting them at capacity, raising rates, and then getting that value,
Leveraging it, rolling
into another, and then they're building on to that next one, and then literally, I think one of them put in 130 grand or something like cash 2 years ago, and now he's got 9 million in net worth on paper, or something like that, which is sick.
That is sick.
So that's interesting. But the reason I brought that up is that whole conversation of being willing to lose it all, going after what you're trying to go after. But to me, we talked about this on the podcast I think this is the one that just came out. Freedom was the one that just came out yesterday.
It did.
Where we talked about freedom is in having the ability to make money. It's not having money. It's being able to make it. And to be able to know that if we lost everything today, that tomorrow we could start a plan and attack it and be right back to where we are now. It may take
within 5 years. Yeah. Within 5 years you can do it.
Yeah.
It's just so you know, I don't want to lose everything tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I ain't scared of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not a fear that drives me.
I'd rather not lose it tomorrow either, but
yeah. But it's not a fear that drives me.
You know, I got my Father's Day gift yesterday.
What'd you get, man?
So we're going down to Destin, Florida, with this other couple on the 30th. And
who's going with you?
They were at my baby showers. Emily, she worked with Maitland. They used to work together. And her husband Jamie.
What does she look like?
She has blonde hair. He has dark hair. They live in Georgia. They actually live in Jasper, Georgia, a small town my mom's from.
Yeah.
I
don't remember meeting them.
Yeah, they were there at that one shower. Well, we're going down to Destin, so she got me a deep sea fishing trip over down there.
Dude, sweet.
I've never done it before.
Have you not?
I've never done it.
Are you?
I've chartered inshore stuff, but we're doing red snapper.
Make sure you take Dramamine a couple days before, because you don't want it to be ruined, even though you think you're tough as crap.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than.
Yeah.
And I don't.
I have a friend that him and his dad went on a deep sea fishing trip, and they spent the entire time puking down below.
Yeah.
They said they were you could not pay me to go on another trip ever.
So don't just take it that day. Don't wait. Take it a couple days before each day.
Well, they said red grouper, but here's the cool thing. So the guy
red grouper, red snapper.
Red snapper. It's this new fish.
It's this new fish. We get this new fish.
Yeah.
It's incredible. The best fish I've ever eaten. I've ever told you. Sable fish.
I've heard of that.
I think I may have been the one that told you. It was when I was in Vancouver. It's the only time I've ever heard of it. It's the first time I've ever had it. Best fish I've ever eaten in my life. Tastiest, greatest.
Huh. The interesting thing, she, one of the other girls that Maitland used to work with, they lived out in Pensacola. Mm-hmm. She had reached out to her to find out, I guess she knew her boyfriend would probably know something about this or something. But this girl's boyfriend is the one that connected Maitland with this guy.
Chris Young's on with us.
Really?
Yeah. Christopher.
What are you doing up there? What time is it in... You ice fishing?
He's ice fishing up there.
It's too late this season. But, speaking of fishing, we're sitting down fishing stories.
Yeah, we're talking fishing. Aren't we supposed to come up there and go fishing?
Yeah. But so the way we got hooked up with this, the guy that captains this boat, he doesn't have a website, doesn't have anything. It's only by personal referral.
Wow.
And so when Maitland was talking to him 2 nights ago, setting everything up, he was like, just last week, Luke Bryan was on the boat with me. He's like, he's one of my biggest customers that comes down there all the time and fishes with him. Yeah. So the guy's probably pretty good at some extent. And when you get back to the dock, he fillets it all, and then we'll just cook it up that night.
So good. That's gonna be fun, man. Yeah. That is gonna be fun. Sure. I probably do need to do something for my dad for Father's Day.
You know what I bought my dad? The same Air Max that I bought you.
Oh, really?
Oh no! No, he doesn't get on these. My mom doesn't.
Tyler's mom, please don't tell him.
Yeah. And I sent him QBQ, The Four Agreements, and Unbreakable.
The greatest books, man.
Yeah.
Those books. So QBQ.
So all three and some Nike Air Max. That's literally the perfect gift from me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So QBQ is question behind the question. It's like a starting point for people.
Yeah.
so that they can.
Someone stole mine because I used to have it right here.
You know, when I need one to give people, I steal yours.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that some of
Well,
the
there's a lot of these books that I would rather you not give away. But I'll have one of or whatever.
And they're signed
all
by the
signed
author.
ones, like all those old Hemingways back there. And
Yeah, like when I give those to them, I'm like,
Charles
look, it's signed by Charles Dickens. This is a really cool gift.
Yeah, you can give away any of these. If those that you can see to my right.
The
your
Gary
left,
V books.
The wall of Gary V books. By the way, we're gonna see Gary and Tony
Thursday.
Robbins next Thursday, not this coming Thursday, the following Thursday. When aren't we doing like a VIP lunch thing or something?
Maybe.
I think we did.
I think so. It'd be fun.
Yeah. I've never seen Tony Robbins before.
I have not either.
I've never really been a big Tony Robbins person. Like as far as like consuming a lot of his content over the years.
But he's incredible.
He is. You know, I know I've met his son, Jarek. I met him out in San Diego at this event that I went to, and I follow him on social media, and he's a sharp dude too.
Yeah.
He's big, just like his dad.
Yeah.
Tall guy. He does a lot of like relationship. A lot of his talk is on relationship stuff with him and his wife. But they travel. I mean, you just imagine living as Tony Robbins' son.
Yeah.
He's traveled the world, and
Yeah.
it's almost like if he didn't speak and he didn't do that, it'd be like, well, how did you come out of that family
And not do that.
not be able to speak?
And
He's a cool dude. I remember I went to this mobile mastermind. It was about basically everything heading towards mobile.
Yeah.
In San Diego, like this was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Right.
And he was there, and one of the little breakout sessions, we had to break out in groups of like 5 or 6, and he was in my group and went through some stuff. He's a cool guy.
Hey, on these ones, somebody comments.
Yeah.
Does they only show 2 at a time, or do they keep?
They scroll, so you can scroll through it. What's up, Jeremy Hunsley
from Georgia,
Atlanta?
Atlanta. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you can scroll up, and then you can swipe to the right, and you can see the live viewers. But here's my problem: you're supposed to be able to see like certain people that are live that you can click on and bring them on live, but it's never worked on my phone, and every time I do it, it makes me so frustrated that I just want to throw my phone across the room. But you're supposed to be able to like click on somebody.
Why?
There's like a green check in there. It'll bring them. I don't know.
Why is it your phone?
I don't know. But
have you?
You know what's funny though is we talk about, and I talk about on social media, like transparency, like trying to be super transparent.
Sure.
And it's funny when Mike McAllister was here for boot camp.
Yeah.
We were in here talking. He was like, "Man, he's like your social media. He's like, it's just so like just crazy transparent." He's like, this one time he did a video, and I was sitting right in here, and I had this table set up, and I was going to show people how to do some of the stuff I do on social media, like how to like edit photos and like add quotes and just like try to provide like some real tactical stuff this one day. And I was trying to bring somebody on, and it wouldn't work, and like I was getting frustrated, and I'm like, staring into the camera like it's just like up close to my face.
Come on.
And I'm like, why is this not working? And it was like just a mess. And I was like, well, guys, all right, I don't know, it's just not freaking working. So, I tried, and I ended it. And he's like, so I saw that happen live. He's like, but I went back to your page like 2 days later, and it was still on there. And he was like, yes, this guy is so authentic.
Yeah.
I didn't take it off.
Yeah, why?
Why would who cares? He's like, literally the whole video was like just you like in there like, why is this not working? He's like, but it's so authentic. I was like, but that's the difference. I'm like, that's the difference between all the stuff on social media where people are just painting this picture, this filtered highlight reel.
Which is ridiculous.
Life
isn't like that.
And as I've been doing this for like 5 months now, putting all this stuff out on social media. I can feel like it's a natural tendency to want to just show the positive.
Oh yeah.
And you have to like pull back every time. Like you sense that you have to like pull back and just be real and not be afraid to. And that's why I like live. That's the whole reason I like live, because when you hit that button and you just start talking.
3,
if you mess
2,
up,
1.
If you mess up, I mean it's out there. It is what it is. And with live,
that's kind of dangerous with me.
It is. You might want
to rethink my life.
I don't know. You want to practice them first. But
I've been practicing with the videos.
Yeah, with the videos. Yeah.
So
practicing.
Keep
No, but like with Facebook, my whole thing was like, you can only fake it for so long. And you know what's interesting is when Instagram came out with Instagram stories, all these Instagram accounts that were like, you know, millionaire mindset or millionaire success quotes, like, that had like 1 million followers and all this stuff, when they started coming out with finally putting their face on the stories, not just these memes and pictures like this, like
Ferrari,
Lamborghini and like a yacht and watches and shoes and all this stuff. When they started talking, it was just like, oh, that's the guy who's been posting this stuff? Like, it was awkward at first. And like, people had to be, there was like this swing that you could see where it was like, oh, this is this new great thing, I need to get myself out there. And then there was like this immediate halt of like, whoa, that's too much of myself.
Yep.
Like, go right back into the fake stuff. Some of them have kept on there, and those are the ones that are, you know, the people that are actually real dudes. Yeah. But being able to make mistakes and being able to, like, I can't tell you how many times it happens all the time where I'm like trying to think of a word and I can't think of it, like when I'm live. And it's frustrating because I'm like, there's this perfect word that I'm trying to think of right now and I can't think of it. But it's like, even just that little moment of vulnerability of knowing that like you were trying to say something super eloquent and you just couldn't think of a word. It's like, oh, it's a real life person. Like, yeah.
But that only happens to you.
Yeah, it was a very simple word. Hey, Jeremy, I'm in Atlanta all the time, man. We should meet up at some point. You know, I did that the other day, so this is cool. The other day I was...
By the way, the word is it's THE. Next time you need to think of it.
What? The Joseph Caldwell?
No, no, the word you were trying to think of.
Oh, yeah.
The.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Real simple.
It's humble. But
that one I bet you can't spell though.
the other day I had posted something on Instagram and I tagged myself in Atlanta, and this guy commented out of the blue. He's like, "Hey man, so you just tagged yourself in Atlanta. I work with this group. It's called like the GTAD or GTAC or something." He's like, "We're based in Atlanta. We'd love to meet up sometime."
Yeah.
And so I just like called him out. I was like, "Look, I'm leaving Atlanta Police Department headquarters here, and I got 20 minutes if you want to meet right now." And the guy was like, "Okay, you know where the Georgia Tech, there's this little like area right off the campus, where I work at. The gym that I go to when I'm in downtown Atlanta, LA Fitness is right there like every time." And I was like, "Yeah, the Starbucks right there." And so I met up with him. We talked for half an hour.
That's awesome.
And it was actually a really cool conversation.
You only had 20 minutes.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Exactly.
How does that work?
I said I can be there in 20 minutes.
Oh.
So I was leaving the meeting.
How do you crank 30 into 20? I was trying to figure that, because if you figure that out, dude,
right?
we are gonna make some money. That's the.
Well, I taught this dude, and it was like, you know, cool conversation. So I thought about doing that more, like because I travel so much.
Yeah.
To like literally just post, like the other day I was like in McDonough, Georgia.
Yeah. And
be like, hey, who's in McDonough, Georgia and wants to just meet up and just like give a spot. Like, you know, Gary does those meetups. It's freaking insane. Like the other night he did one with Charlemagne, and he literally was just tweeted out, posted on everything. He said, meet me at this like Washington Square Park or some park in New York. And he had somebody with him. I think I want to say it was one of his partners. Can't remember who it was that was with him. He's like, you want to come out here with me? He's like, it's probably gonna be pretty interesting. He goes out there, and there's just hundreds of people, you know, that just wanted to talk to him.
Dude, that's awesome.
Heck yeah, it really is.
It's cool the way he does stuff. I'm impressed.
Like, so much of my mindset, because I consume so much of it, like it's so, what he's doing, it's so smart that 99% of people don't even have they don't even realize like really what he's putting out. Like he's giving people a blueprint of massive success.
Sure.
Like with this whole social media thing, and I'm
so, you know, though, people have done this for years. He just has a different medium of doing it. Yeah. Successful people have put a blueprint out. Yeah. By way of book, written form, speaker form, audio, cassette tape.
Anytime there's anything new, the early adopters
are the ones that, and they're the ones that show you how they did what they did.
Yeah.
And you know what? 99.9999% of people don't follow it and don't watch it and don't.
Well, that's what he talks about all the time. He talks about people that, like when a new social media platform will come out and how they're not willing to waste their time messing with it. And he was like, he's like, that time that you're investing in wasting, watching or looking at these platforms and learning how to use them and all the hours and hours and hours, on the 1% chance that it's the next big thing and you got on there and learned it first. He was like, that opportunity cost, if you were to miss out on that, he's like, it's irresponsible. He's like, it's irresponsible for you not to. And it was so funny, somebody asked him the other day, like, what his home screen on his iPhone looked like what the icon or what apps. And he's like, I've got my basic social media stuff, there's a couple other utilitarian type stuff that I use. He's like, and then pretty much I want it to mirror the average 15-year-old in America. And so anything the average 15-year-old in America is looking at, I have on my home screen. That's what I'm messing around with. Like, those are the apps that I'm trying to figure out. Because it's the younger generation that are driving it, and that he will take it. Because there's like this evolution where once it hits like the people that are in their 20s, then once it hits the people that are in their 30s and 40s, then it's mainstream. But with Facebook and Instagram, I mean, that's basically my focus. If something were to happen to one of those, like, there'll be another one that'll pop up the next day. But those two, especially Facebook.
Like my 14-year-old daughter, all they do is Snapchat. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
which is one that I haven't. The only thing I use Snapchat for is messaging back and forth with my wife. That's like the only. That's the only. I don't mess. I have not messaged. I haven't sent one snap to one other person than my wife. I don't know. Well, maybe like a couple of people, like every now, like ever. Like, I just like send funny stuff back to my wife.
So my daughter was it was either at the pool. My 14-year-old Isabella was at the pool or at the skating rink. I can't remember. So I have 4 for anybody that cares, but you know,
it's early. It's not that early.
But Jack, my 9-year-old, was there with her, and this kid came up and asked her for her Snapchat, and Jack goes, Jack said, "You better leave my sister alone. I'm gonna slap the taste out of your mouth."
That's right.
But to your point, the 14-year-old, 15-year-old, it's
got to be stressful having a teenager.
A daughter. One?
I know.
I've got 3 daughters that are 14, 12, 11. And man, they can go from the world is ending.
Yeah.
Does it?
That's connected.
This is live now.
Somebody else is on here commenting. John Calhoun, what's going on? Tony is it Stinkato? Stankato? Yeah, it must have been.
Stankato.
Just went in and out because we just lost a bunch of people and they came back on. It's weird.
Interesting.
Or maybe just because we're rambling at 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning.
It's 5 o'clock now.
You know what's weird is to watch the delay on this. Jeez, my arms are massive.
Dude, you're all Let's see.
Dude, this delay is really freaking me out.
It is freaking
I can't watch it.
Watch.
It's not.
Oh, yeah!
It's not like Chinese movie delayed. It's like a solid 15-second delay.
Yeah, it's a solid. No, probably 8.
Jeez, that's good.
It's funny. All right, man. So what do you want to talk about? You will fail.
You know, I can't wait to post a picture of the text that I sent you last night and the response. So it was last night. It was like 10 o'clock at night, and I was like, hey, I bet you won't meet me at the office at 4 o'clock in the morning to create some video content and mastermind some stuff. And you were like, are you serious? And I'm like, yes. So like, let's do it.
Yeah.
And I told my wife, I was telling him earlier, I told my wife I got into bed, and I told my wife, I was like, oh, I gotta get up early. She's like, yeah, we can go on. I was like, I gotta get up at like 3:15. I gotta meet Joseph at the office at 4. And it made it sound like as though like you were like making it.
I'm making it.
And she was like, what? I was like, yeah, I gotta meet Joseph at the office at 4 o'clock in the morning. And she was like, well, why? I was like, I don't know, I just thought it'd be a good idea. And she's like, you thought it'd be a good idea? I was like, yeah, I just texted him and asked if he'd meet at the office at 4. She's like, why? I was like, because no one else is probably going to be at the office at 4 on Saturday morning.
And the reason why I got here early was not to one-up you, by the way, but because I cut 5 videos while I was sitting out there on the sidewalk because I don't have keys to the building that you know.
that you're the CEO of the office.
I don't have keys to it. So I sat on the sidewalk and cut.
So your humble peasant worker had to come and let you in.
That's why I sent you that. I was like, God, I hope he has keys.
Yeah, I woke up.
Or we'd be sitting outside doing this.
3, and I'd already missed 2 calls from you and 3 texts. I was like, what the? Unbelievable.
It's all fun and games, man. What are we gonna do for breakfast?
Nothing's open this early. Starbucks isn't even open until 6 a.m. It's ridiculous.
Man, I was talking about this the other day. That's what I said. I pulled into the gym at like 4 because there's one. All right, so our house is getting worked on, and we're staying in apartments until they finish the work on the house. The apartment complex has a.
That still makes me be like,
Yeah, right. Sure.
If you saw his house.
But anyway, so we're.
My house is being worked on. Someone's apartment.
Shut up. But it's like legit work, like a lot of work.
Like 7,000 square feet of tile, marble, or whatever.
Being plowed out. But the apartment complex has a gym, and it's great because you can get there in 24/7. Yeah. And I went to the gym that I'll normally go to, and I just forgot. But they open at 5. I got there at like 4:30 or something, and I was sitting there and I was like, who? How does the gym not open till 5? Like who?
You could have came to the one in the building that you own. They also have a 24-hour.
I never think of that. Yeah. But I sat there and cut some videos.
Yeah.
But.
And that's, I mean, I talk about it all the time on my social media stuff. It's, you got to be willing to do what other people won't do to have what other people won't have. I mean, it's a
Absolutely.
cliche quote, but it's actually applicable. Like if you,
100%.
if you implement it, and if you actually start seeking to do things that others won't do.
Yeah.
That's when it really gets crazy.
Yeah, I talked about that in a video this morning.
Because
it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
Right? And we talked about this some yesterday, and we always talk about the discomfort and being uncomfortable and putting yourself in those situations. If you don't put yourself in those situations, you're never going to grow.
Yeah.
If you're not putting yourself in a position to fail, you're absolutely not doing anything with your life.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but that's the reality of it.
And social media and putting yourself out there, and especially like when I've been doing these live videos where I'm like putting a goal out there and I'm like updating throughout the day, throughout the week, and then recapping the day, recapping the week.
How many times do you do the Facebook Live a day?
I was doing 6. I've been doing 6, like 5 or 6 a day.
Really?
Every day. Every day. After every meeting.
I didn't even know you knew that many words.
Me neither. I know. It's usually the same words over and over. I mean, like literally. I mean, it's and I try to like to add something to it, not just to be like a recap of what I just did, but to add something to it. But the thing about it is, so by doing that, it becomes the greatest accountability tool that you could ever have.
Ever.
I mean, because it's if you set a goal out there and you say you're going to update people and recap,
and you do it,
you got to do it. Like if you don't do it, I mean, there goes all your credibility.
Or you could say my favorite excuse: I forgot.
Yeah, I talked about that on one of my Facebook lives on Wednesday. I talked about that, about how I forgot. And so what? I forgot what. And I can't wait for you guys to see the podcast that we come out with on Tuesday.
Sales Wolves Podcast.
Sales Wolves Podcast, the one that's going to come out on Tuesday with Tom Shea, author of Unbreakable and Navy SEAL's Way of Life, 23-year Navy SEAL. But we talked about like the key drivers of success, and we talked about excuses. But what was it that he said? Because he said excuses were something, seductive, and something else. But seductive just stuck out in my head so much that I couldn't think of the first and third.
Because seductive is such a great word.
But he says
we get stuck on that word.
But he says excuses. I want to say he said like excuses are easy, seductive, and like
he said legitimate,
comforting maybe, or like I can't wait to watch it so I can get that back. But but it was something like that. It was like that they were seductive, that they were comforting, and I started really thinking about that in like the seductive part, because when you're tired, like that excuse that you come up with that makes you feel better, you're like, oh, whew, that's good.
Yeah.
You're like, that's good right there. Like I can 100% go back to sleep.
Yes.
Because that excuse makes sense. I'm all in on that.
Yep.
Yes. And it's being able to have it, and what Tom Shea talks about so much is the internal dialogue, being able to be aware and sense that that conversation of like, hey, buddy, you're trying to create an excuse right now. You need to stop and you need to go do it anyway. Like being able to not just realize that conversation is going on, but then choosing actually to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But it's just like what I've found lately is just like these momentum swings where it's like you can carry so much momentum through your day when you are aware of those things and you choose the right thing, versus when you're aware of those things and you don't choose the right thing, because then it's gonna make you feel like crap. Like when you develop a heightened sense of self-awareness and you're not doing the right things, it's gonna make you feel worse about yourself.
Right.
Like it will. Like because now you're so much more aware of the bad things that you're doing, like the wrong things that you're doing.
True.
So to be able to every time you sense it, you say, okay, I can choose to do this or I can choose to do that, and you do the right thing. It's like freaking a snowball going down. I mean, and if you do a number of those in a row, you get to where you feel like you're unstoppable. Absolutely. Like last week, I felt like I was freaking unstoppable.
I could tell.
Like there was not a single thing that could have happened to me. Like I was just on this weird, aggressive.
You were unbreakable.
Yeah.
Right. So
born relentless. Taught to relent.
Born relentless. Taught to relent.
What's he talking about? Moldable. What am I talking about? Unbreakable. Something about being moldable and I don't know. I was thinking about trying to get a Facebook group together or people on Facebook to do the
24 hour.
No, to do that 10 thing that he said no one's ever completed. The 10 push-ups, 10 squats, 10 sit-ups or whatever.
He didn't say nobody's ever completed it.
It's like 1%. It's like, I want to say he said nobody, but it's like, I don't know if anybody, I mean, maybe like one or two people. Because it's like 10, 10, 10, then it's 20, 20, 20, then it's 30, 30, 30, and you keep doing that for like 30 days straight. And it's at night and in the morning.
But it's a week at a time. Like you do 10 the first week.
Yeah.
You do 20 the second
But
week.
to do it every single day for like however many weeks it is. Because the easiest excuse was the one that Jill said in there. She was like, I forgot. He was like,
there it is. Yeah. I hate that.
But to get people to actually do that, because one of those things that he talked about on the podcast, which you guys will hear on Tuesday, is when he talked about the excuse of when you're in that moment where you're like, this is dumb. Remember something like this? When it doesn't make sense, I guess.
That was
like
this is
it's like this is dumb. This doesn't make any sense.
It's when the seals are in the cold water for the second time.
And when they take away all ability to win and just create mass confusion to where like, this doesn't make sense. Like this is dumb. Why am I doing this?
I'm out.
Yeah. Interesting. The other interesting thing part that he discussed was when he talked about that guy that came in that everyone pinned as like, this guy's definitely going to make it through. Yeah. Usually the most vocal, like most physical specimen as far as the way they looked, and that they would always bow out early. And as soon as that person bowed out,
the bottom 10% or 20% gone
immediately, because they were like, if that guy can't do it, then why am I even still trying?
Yeah.
Which is interesting. You know what fascinates me about that whole story is trying to like having kind of not seen, but having known that Matt went through that, and having communicated with him through that, like it. I mean, I have so much like the respect that it's crazy that like to me it's just crazy that he's able to do that. Like it blows my mind. Like blows my mind.
That was
the
tough,
last time we saw him.
But I was like,
we'll talk about that.
Yeah. That was funny though.
Hey, here's another subject we can talk about that'll be funny. What are your opinion on these guys?
Fidget spinners.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know what you do with them. I bought one the other day just to have it so I can see what people were.
When you're fidgety, you spin them.
That's like the most simple commercial of fidget spinners. When you're fidgety,
you spin them. And I'm always fidgety, so.
Yeah, I don't get it.
My wife was with my son somewhere, and I can't remember what she was telling me, but she said that they were with some teenage kid was waiting on them. Oh, they were eating. They were doing their little date. I can't remember where they were eating them, and some teenage kid was waiting on them. And Jack had one of these, and he's messing with it. And my wife looks at the teenage kid. She was like, "It's a fidget spinner," and the kid was like, "I know what a fidget spinner." and my wife instantly felt old. Like the way the kid looked at her, like lady, shut your pie hole.
She's like, yeah, I read about it on the internet.
On the interwebs.
But it's so funny to think about like what the kids like. Have your kids gotten into this slime stuff or whatever?
Oh yeah.
Do they make it?
Yeah, they make it. Yeah.
And the kids are like selling it and like.
Oh, they make it. It's all.
There was some guy. It was Charlemagne the God. That dude. He has that hip hop morning show. And the other co-host that he has was talking about how his son's like making like all this money selling slime at school. So I was like, that is the craziest. It's just so crazy.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember Pogs? Do you remember those things?
No.
It was like those little.
You gotta remember, I'm 10 years your senior. How old are you?
32.
Yeah, I'll be 42 this year.
It was those little like circle things that you would like stack and you would like you had what do they call it?
Does that
like,
bother you?
Yeah. It's called like a slammer that you would like hit down on them and then they would all kind of like go up in the air and the ones that flipped over, you won them.
I've never heard of it.
Really?
Or seen it. Yeah.
So like this was when I was in like the, 4th, 5th grade maybe. So literally it was like these little cardboard cutout, just like little circles.
So
they had.
Unless I would have been playing with that as a freshman in college, then.
I mean, maybe you were. I don't know. Everybody's having a good time.
Hey, look, watch this.
But literally, it was like they would have like design. I mean, they'd buy them and like collect them and whatever, and then you would like put your half in, and they would put their half in, and like you would be able to win theirs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like literally, you just stack them up, and then you just like slam this thing on top of it, and they would go everywhere. And the ones that flipped over or something, you would win. But like people had these cases for them, like all this stuff. It's just so weird to think of like all the little trends. Like,
But the Rubik's Cube is back. Have you seen that? Like it's big time back.
Can't Jack do it pretty well?
Unbelievable. Yeah, you can figure it out no matter what. I
used to blow my mind. My grandfather, my mom's dad. You could he could give it to me, and I could
mess it up.
jump it all up, and he could literally just like. Like hand it back to you done. He was a genius.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like he was like in his 60s, and it's probably into the 70s, and we would buy him like whatever the newest like games, like video game system.
Yeah.
And he would buy a game, play it until he beat it, and then he'd buy another game like Zelda and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like he would beat them all. Like every game he had, like he'd beat them all. He'd just sit there and like this 65-year-old man is sitting there like just beating Zelda and playing those games. It was fascinating. He was an interesting guy. He used to play. He played the guitar and sang on like an old country radio station where they were like in the studio live doing it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, he's an interesting guy.
That's
he worked
interesting.
for Lockheed, which back then was basically like being in the military.
Yeah.
So my mom lived in Spain, Belgium, Turkey, Iran, all growing up.
Wow.
Yeah. My mom's been like 54 or something like that times. My dad's been like 52, something like that times.
Where?
I mean, my dad grew up in Germany.
Oh,
in
moved
high school.
50.
Moved.
Okay, when you said, I thought you said been to, and I was like, been to where 54?
No, yeah, they moved.
They moved.
Times.
Golly,
and not just like, like moved. Like pretty much every United state, every state in the United States.
Pretty much every United State.
Yeah, I was gonna say all the ones that are united. But
are those in the Union or what's the?
he lived in Germany, a bunch of places in Germany, like all through high school and stuff like that. But pretty much like, I mean, that's
Where have you been?
I was born in Hawaii.
Well, yeah, but
Moved to Georgia, Florida, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Texas, and then here.
that's where you've lived.
Yeah.
Where have you been overseas? Have you been in any
Not
fun
much.
countries?
Italy, went to Venice. I won a trip.
That's when you fell in the canal.
Yeah, I won a sales trip to Venice for like 7 nights, which was cool. It was way too long to be in just Venice, but that was cool. Been to some other like Caribbean type stuff, Jamaica a couple times, Tortola, which was awesome, which I definitely want to go back. I want to plan a trip for us all to go there. It's just so, there's no, it's not touristy. It's just like local, like these friends of ours that have been going down there forever, like they know all the locals there.
Yeah, yeah.
There's some families that they're close with that have had places there for 30, 40 years. And that was that wedding I went to was down there.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when you go down there, like there's not like.
You were a biscuit short of 300 pounds at the time.
But like diesel.
You were huge.
Yeah. I got in really good shape for that trip though.
Yeah.
Remember I officiated the wedding.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But
dude,
yeah, that was crazy. But there's like not like big resorts or anything. Like it was like we stayed in this like a motel. Like it had like
so
a
what?
little,
It's not the island of Tortola.
It is. It's the island of Tortola.
It is.
But like
it's all. What
90% of the tourists, it's in British Virgin Islands.
BVI.
So you fly into U.S. Virgin Islands. You take a boat.
Which island do you fly into?
St.
Croix?
St. Thomas.
St. Thomas. Sorry.
So the story behind that was we were leaving, like we've been planning this trip like for so long. So it was one of those, it was a destination wedding that they sent out invites thinking that like, not a ton
12 people are going to come. Yeah.
Yeah, there was like 45 of us,
That's
something crazy.
That's absolutely
Yeah.
awesome.
So we were all excited to go to this trip. I was working, of course, in Georgia like the week leading up, and so Maitland met me in Atlanta. We stayed that night in a hotel right near the airport, and then went to the airport that morning to meet up with the other two, the couple that was getting married, and then Christina and Tyler. We're meeting them, and then we all went a day early.
Yeah.
And so we get to the airport, going through, pull out the passports, and Maitland didn't have her passport.
It's done.
And I'm like, what do you mean you don't have your passport?
What do you?
What do you mean? It's the only thing you need. Like everything else is, we can get. Like that's the only thing you need. And we're in Georgia, and we live in South Carolina. And where's your passport? So we're in the parking garage, dumping the luggage out, like and into just on the ground,
God,
everything.
It's a sick
and
feeling.
like I'm sitting there like trying, just contemplating in my head, like I'm going to Tortola.
I'm going to Tortola.
I have my passport. I'm officiating this wedding.
So I have
This
to
wedding
go.
can't happen. This wedding can't happen without the father.
Yeah. Without the rabbi.
I'm like, well, like I literally was like, how am I gonna pull this one off? But we finally had this. We like went back to the counter and met this really nice lady at the, I don't know what airline it was, but she said something smart. Like you can get to U.S. Virgin Islands because it's U.S. territory.
Yeah.
She's like, the most expensive part of this whole process is going to be not making this flight and having to buy new flights down there. Like that'll be the most expensive way you can go about this. So you don't want to do that. So you want to go down to the U.S. Virgin Islands and figure it out. And like literally, since they've been going to Tortola for so long, like they had this one friend, he's a really cool guy. His family owns the rum distillery there and like all these restaurants. And
what kind of rum?
There's a specific name I can't remember.
Blackheart.
No, I can't remember what it's called.
Drunk some of that.
But but we were literally like, well, he'll just bring his boat over and we'll get you there.
Yeah.
And so we're like, all right, well, let's just get on the plane and go. And so we get there, and I remember I had to text Nathan. I had to like show Nathan how to break into my house and get my safe because I thought it was in the safe.
Yeah.
And show him, and he had to bust open my safe.
That was when he took and dropped it on his corner.
Yeah,
And
it was not a good safe.
yeah, that's not a good safe thing.
Yeah.
That's when his brother was like,
Just drop it just like
it's
this
the
on
12,
this
14, 81, 17B. Yeah, just drop it on the right hand, left hand corner and pop right open. I'm like, you need to get a new safe.
Yeah, which we did because he broke it. And it wasn't in there. But her old passport was in there, and so he mailed her old passport all the way down to us. We got it, And when you get a new passport, they punch holes into your old one. So it's got a hole punched all the way through the whole book. And so they know it's not valid. And so we're on the boat.
What if you lose it and you have to get a new one?
So I mean, we were trying to like go through the process of getting getting one, but there's like, it's not easy. It's not an easy process. It was stressful. But we're like, all right, we're just gonna have a good time. We're gonna figure it out later. So like on the last day, we're like, all right, so how are we gonna get out of this country? Like, we gotta get back into the U.S. And so we literally were going to customs. We had to take this boat back over the U.S. Virgin Islands, and then you go through the little customs thing when you get off the ship. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna create the best story ever. We just lost it like on the boat. Like I'm gonna need you to freak out a little. Like I don't know where I don't know where my passport is. Like I just lost it. Like we can't find it anywhere. Like what do we do? And they were just like, oh, you're okay. Like literally, like it was like all this stress. They were just like, oh,
for nothing.
Just call it.
Isn't it funny how we do that? We do that about a lot of stuff. We make things bigger than they are.
You know, speaking of that, I met with I was writing life insurance policy on a couple. This guy brought his wife in, and they were going through all the health questions and stuff. They were like reading them all out, and they were like, because the guy was like, using any methamphetamines and heroin, this stuff, like asking his wife these questions. And she said that they were going to Canada.
Yeah.
This was like recently. And they were staying somewhere like on the U.S. side, and they just wanted to go over to Canada for this event they were going to. And she had a DUI like 9 years ago, and they were not allowing her into the country. They had to fill out all of this paperwork. They had to make all these phone calls, all this stuff. They were not going to allow her into the country because she had a DUI 9 years ago.
It's a felony.
I'm like, that is insanity.
It's insane.
I'm like, how is that
That's
even?
the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, a DUI. It's crazy.
Those Canucks like to drink too, which I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, but
that's weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
And they were in a limousine because they were just like going right.
Yeah.
So like, they weren't driving anyways, and like, but it was like this whole huge ordeal. They had to get this special consideration, and
But they let them.
Yeah, and they both bought policies. So that's all I really care.
That's all.
This is a great story.
This is a great story.
This is a great story and all, but I still need those initials.
I need you to sign an initial right here.
I'm smiling and nodding, but inside I'm just worried about these.
Just done.
Here, let me put your hand on it.
Keep telling me the Canada story. Dude, I can't tell you how many times I've been in that situation. Thousands.
Yeah,
thousands.
People talk about, like, how do you, like, when I posted the results, I posted the top 10, the leaderboard, the screenshot on my Facebook.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And people are like, how in the world are you able to sit down with enough people to write 314 policies in a week?
Because I'm a pimp.
I'm like, but it's like, how did you write 314 policies in a week? And I almost always respond the same way, and I'm sure it's super frustrating for them to hear. I'm like, one at a time.
You know what I used to do when people would ask me stuff
I'm
like
like,
that?
just eat an elephant one bite at a time.
Like agents would ask and go, how do you do the same
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
And I would go, probably the same thing you do, just more of it. It always made them mad.
Dude, I did this video the other night, and I am so.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see some comments here. Who we got?
Nobody.
2:30 a.m. in California. Are you up? Are you heading on to sleep yet? Or are you?
Chris Morgan. What else you got here?
Kristen Green. She goes to our church.
Joe Parker.
Joe Parker?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, and then
Joe. What's up, Joe? I know Joe.
Joe Parker.
Joe's from Greenville. He moved to like Durham, I think, or Raleigh. He's a good guy.
It's a great area.
Yeah.
It's a really good area.
That's where Ryan Ingram was a police officer.
Really?
Huh?
Yeah.
Durham. That's where he met Rodney one day.
Very
But
cool.
I was talking about on one of my Facebook lives the other night, and man, I want like so much can be created around this concept of we talk about like if you want to have extraordinary things, live an extraordinary life, like
You have to do extraordinary
You have to do extraordinary things, but like if you literally break down that word,
Extra
and ordinary, and so I broke it down. I'm like, ordinary just means like regular, simple, nothing
Just a little
Nothing
things.
complicated. It's
Just a regular.
just ordinary.
Just ordinary.
Extra means a lot or
You
more.
You just do more than everybody else.
Yeah. I'm like, so it's not. It's just doing simple things, but it's just doing a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so if you, like, how encouraging is that? That like literally all you have to do is do an extra amount of ordinary things.
Yep.
And it will give you. And see, but it's weird when you say like extraordinary results because.
It'll give you extraordinary results, which
Yeah.
if like
More.
somebody that gets
Yeah.
that makes 50,000 a year, you'll have extraordinary 50,000s.
You'll just add
Yours will
zeros.
come in. Yours will come in quarters, or
Your
yours will
extras
come
will
in
just come in
weeks.
zeros,
Right.
decimal points.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's just extra,
Yeah.
not ordinary.
But that's the interesting thing is like people think that you have to that there's like some secret, and actually some guy commented. I'm so glad he did. Some guy commented and like because people were like, how did you do this? Or there's no way.
Do you always keep your Facebook up while you're doing it?
Never.
Never.
I'm usually just on my phone. I'm always just on my phone.
So when we hit X, or what is there, an end button?
Yeah, there's a finish. Yeah.
All right. So when you hit finish, then what?
Then you just hit it'll.
Do you
ask
do
if
hashtags or
It'll,
anything?
it'll ask you if you want to discard or post, and you just hit post, and it'll say like keep, and then I put the hashtags on the comment. I'll just put a comment at the very end. But this guy said.
You send me the hashtags.
Mhm.
Will you email them to me now? What would be typical for me to do?
Yeah. Well, the ones that are being used on your page right now. Those
Which
good
I don't.
ones. Yeah, those good ones on there. But this guy said. This guy says, so people are like, saying all this stuff, and this guy goes, he says, it's amazing that some folks are either haters and claim something negative, or they are still asking how you do it. Like he says, like his whole message isn't about the hustle. He said, a numbers game, the pitch and the close. You could spell it out and draw a picture, and folks will still ask, but how did you get rich off of it? Sell whatever you got. If you see 10 people and sell one, guess how many folks you have to see to sell 100. If easy pitch presentation takes 45 minutes, well, then you can guess that you would probably have to speak to groups of people, one foot in front of the other. Consistent persistence is the only way. There's no shortcut, just plain hard work. I am only retelling what all these guys are saying. And this is what he says: Cardone, Gary Vee, Tyler. If anyone tells you anything else, they be lying.
Dude, I love it.
I just love the fact that I was tied in with those legends.
I know, right? Dude, they listed you right up there next to gods of social media.
And then Chris commented, just said wolf.
Wolf. Yeah, little Chris, man. Dude, Chris Young, the Rainmaker, you guys.
He is the Rainmaker.
He's the Rainmaker. He's awesome. We love some Chris Young.
There's another thing that I posted this picture that all my new 511 pants came in last night.
How many did you get?
And I just got 4. I got this new like big tote bag. This big bag I can travel with.
Oh, for clothes and stuff.
I'm actually gonna use it for like I have this.
Applications.
Yeah.
It's for my applications.
Cash.
It's for my cash.
I have like this one bag that I use that has all my like. I put all like my food, like the stuff that's not in the cooler.
Yeah, yeah.
Like food and protein, like
Bars.
shake cups,
Dude, I'm
and
starving.
all
We
that
gotta get
stuff.
something.
Yeah, but it's red and has polka dots because it's like one of Malin's bags. I've been using it forever.
I
So
love
it's got
it.
this huge black 511 one.
Hey, when we go eat, let's Facebook Live from there and have a breakfast chat. You want to do that?
Yeah. So what I said was, I
'Cause this is-
posted this picture of these pants laid out like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, all these successful entrepreneurs on social media posting pics of their new custom suits and bottles. I'm over here pumped about a new shipment of work pants in a slightly smaller size. And hashtag 511 tactical.
Dude, that's awesome. Dude, we got linked up with them. We had a 40% discount from them. Did you?
I found that right after it.
Oh, you'd already ordered.
They had a 20% off sale. I usually buy my stuff off tacticalgear.com. They had 20% off.
We get 40 now with them though. That's a great company.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
a good company.
They really are.
Solid.
And that was through Tom Shea, wasn't it?
Yeah, Tom Shea linked us up with I mean the guy, I can't remember his name. I look it up. The guy that owns 511 or runs 511. It's one of those guys. Oh, I got the fidget spinner. Man, I know what a fidget fidget spinner is.
That's really a whole other story.
Man.
Back in my day, we had a. I don't even know what you can say.
I could guess.
Back in my day, you used to get thrown in jail for playing with your fidget spinner in public.
They had laws about playing with that fidget spinner in public, especially in front of opposite sex. Oh man.
Alright, well, hopefully Ricky will be able to pull out enough content from this hour-long Facebook Live. It's been an hour.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm starving, man. I got up at 1:50. Because I was like, that son of a bitch is not going to beat me to the office.
I live half a mile from here.
That's a great office for where you live.
Dude.
And Nathan, too, living
And the
right
gym
there.
being right here, it's unbelievable. If only I was in town more to
If
take
only-
advantage of the convenience.
If only you were here.
My
more
office
than they
is half a mile from my house. The territory I work in is 3 hours.
3 hours.
So where I spend 4 days a week is three hours away. Where I spend 1 day a week, half a mile.
Half a mile.
Half a mile away.
What are we doing?
I was just saying who all was
Good.
on here. There's nobody on here live. So
Good. Let's go.
let me end it real quick. Let's just
Do you end it with something?
Yeah. I mean, nothing like crazy.
Oh, because he's going to edit it down? Is that what he's going to do now?
Do that, yeah.
So he'll just pull them off of here.
So he'll be able to pull off of this and create like 10 pieces of this short.
Little short things.
Yeah. But for those of you that are watching this not live, because it's still only 5:45 East Coast, and it's something that I have to be super cognizant of. Is like West Coast, like it's something that I have to like, because I do these. I'll be going to a meeting at 6, and I'm like,
It's 3 in the morning there.
yeah. And like the other day when you were out of town, and Amanda and I did that live questions.
Yeah.
We did it at 7 a.m. And I was like, that's 4 o'clock on West Coast time. We just like completely eliminated like a third, if not 2/3 with Central Mountain or whatever, to be able to even get on it. But yeah, it's interesting. But what was I just saying?
We were getting ready to get off here.
Something I was saying. Oh, but for those of you that are watching, if you made it this far, then you are unbelievable.
Yeah.
If you're watching the replay. So we appreciate you hanging out with us this morning at 5:45 in the morning on a Saturday. We're gonna get some breakfast, get some more work done, and then enjoy the day. And so that's the interesting thing is, when we talk about this work-life balance thing, I put this post out the other day that let me see if I can find it real quick, because it was interesting what people said in the comments, and it was actually a woman crush Wednesday post, which are great for men to do. Just a little tip from the whip there. Woman crush Wednesday. Let me find it. But I talked about work-life balance, but there's something interesting in it. Interesting perspective. Literally having to scroll through so many. Look at this picture I posted. Doing FaceTime with Arden.
Oh.
FaceTime is the coolest thing ever when you travel. I mean, like if you got a kid or a hot wife.
Yeah. Or an ugly wife you think is hot. I mean,
Which is not the case in my situation.
which is not the case in either one of our situations.
Or a hot wife, or an ugly one that you think is hot. Whammy.
Dude, I am not referring to either one of our wives, man. I will be that. First off, that would be ludicrous if you saw them. They're both absolutely gorgeous. And if they heard that, I am in trouble.
Dude, did you see this video I posted? This video, this lady was like sitting on the edge of this banister on like a condominium, like she was gonna commit suicide. And she's just like sitting on the edge, and then all of a sudden you see this officer, and he's climbing down from from the one above her, like super quietly. He's got this gear on like with a rope, but he's being like super quiet so that she doesn't hear him. And he's climbing like, he's like getting over the banister like right above her.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he just goes, boom, and goes, wham, and just slams her inside. So he jumps off, and then with this momentum just, boom, it just knocks her back into the patio. So he saved her life.
Yeah.
But he might have killed her.
But
like it's unbelievable.
He saved her life, but he knocked the wind out of her.
I promise you, she broke ribs for sure. Like he leveled her, but it was awesome.
It was awesome. That's fun. Oh, I was looking for my phone to plug it in. All right, come on, let's do it. Let's go get some breakfast and map out this rest of this year from where we are goal-wise right now. We're just a little bit behind, and we're crushing it.
This is a good week. Crazy week.
Yeah, great week. What 1,124 applications, something like that.
Where the heck is this?
I don't know where it is, man, but
Here it is. All right. So I said many people question my work-life balance, so I'd like to address that here. Did you read this?
no.
Thanks. My wife never reads my social media or gets on any of these Facebook Lives. I'll be like, hey, did you see that Facebook Live when I was talking to so-and-so? She's like, no, I appreciate that.
Thanks.
I'll just keep on
Thanks for
going.
I'll
I said, behind every strong man is an even stronger woman. And I said, I'm empathetic to the fact that your spouse may not support your hard work ethic. However, I'm cognizant of the fact that 99% of the people that chastise the work-life balance of others are simply upset at the light it shines on their own lack of effort.
Sure.
Are you really mad at the amount of time I spend away from my family? Or are you mad because I'm flat out working you day after day and you need some excuse to sleep better at night? And I said, there's two ways to balance a scale, so please stop acting like the only way you can create balance is by taking away from one area. Need to spend more time with your family? Great, try this. Spend more time with your family. And I said, here's what most people say. I need to spend more time with my family, so I'm just going to spend less time at work. Wait a minute. Just because you need to spend more time with your family does not mean you need to spend less time working. How about you spend less time sleeping?
Or watching TV?
How about you spend less time at happy hour? How about you spend less time, this one got real, like for me, and so I know for so many other people. I said, how about you spend less time playing Candy Crush in your car while you're supposed to be walking into the door of businesses prospecting?
Mm-hmm.
That's real right there. I said, I'm completely okay with taking your criticism if that's what you need to feel better about yourself, but let's call it what it is. I would not be where I am today without the strength and support of my wife. Blah, blah, blah. I got a little bit of mushy-gushy in there.
Blah, blah, blah. I had to put that in there.
And then this is where I said, she also knows how to motivate me. Perfect example. I sent her a text on Tuesday and said that I'll still be back home Friday, but that I need to go back out of town to work Saturday and Sunday. I said, we're at the end of a huge sales competition and I want to crush. My wife's response, okay, I'm not going to Miami with the runner-up anyways. And I said, haha, the winner goes on a sick trip to this resort in Miami. And I said, she gets me, and she's got me for life. Like, she knows how to motivate me, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But that's the funny
That's
thing about that whole
hilarious.
balance is like, literally, we'll have the entire rest of the day to spend with the family, but we'll have gotten some work done.
Yeah.
Because we didn't sleep.
Yeah.
That's what I don't
I'm
understand.
going all in with my kids today. Like, we're going to the lake, we're playing, we're having fun, we're spending time together.
And like, that's what I don't understand when people talk about, you need sleep, obviously. I mean, you need sleep to survive, but you don't need as much sleep as people think you need.
No.
When you get to this stage, like, I don't know how many days it takes, but like, I perform so much better off of about 4 or 5 hours.
Right.
Than I do, like, if I get like 8 or 9, I am not very sharp.
I don't even know how 8 or 9. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, there's days where I'll after for me, balance is, and I talk about it all the time, like, it's 3 or 4 days just like crazy, 5th day lighter. 3 or 4 weeks, crazy, a week lighter.
Yeah.
3 or 4 months, crazy, vacation. Like, that's
Yeah.
like, that's the cadence of everything I like to try to do. But like on that day, like where I'm lighter, like I have the ability to go to sleep and wake up at like noon. Like I can, like
you can do that?
Oh yeah. Like
Wow.
I love sleep. Like
I wish.
and so that's what. I mean, yeah. So like I could sleep forever, and so it's a effort. I mean, like the schedule we work, like that third day, that fourth day. I mean, there's literally been times where my alarm went off on that fourth day in a row, and you're getting like 2-3 hours sleep. Where like literally it's just like like I look up at my alarm and just like one single tear just rolls down my face.
And then you just want to curl up in the bathtub while the shower's on.
And then it switches from that to like the next morning when it goes off, and my alarm, like literally my alarm goes off, and I just wake up laughing in this crazy like crazy laughing, where I'm just like, this is
insane.
ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Anyways, guys, we appreciate everybody for joining us on this Facebook Live, and we will talk to y'all soon. So you hit finish.